everybody, and welcome back to the Nightly News Media Cup broadcast of Knights basketball here for the final home game of the season for the Central Penn Knights today. They are taking on Christendom College. I am your host, Dalton Koller, and with me on commentary tonight, Kevon Davis. Kevon, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Dalton. Glad to be back with you, and unfortunately, it's the last home game and the last game of the men's season, but hopefully we can end out on a win. We ended up beating Bucks County 100-98 and looking to finish the season off with a last home win.
Absolutely. As you just mentioned, the last time the Knights had a game, it was on last Saturday, and they did manage to beat Bucks County Community College. And this Christendom team, last time they played a game, they lost to Bucks County Community College. So hopefully, the last game of the year can end in a win for the men's. Starting lineup for the Knights: Dahsan King, Darius Wallace, Riley Young, who just puts up the three but is off the mark, Aaron Harrison, and Richard Harley. So the Knights an early empty possession, looking to see if they can get a stop here in the beginning moments of this one.
We also know that today is Anthony McClinton's last game as well, so we look to see him have a huge game and try and ball out for the Knights.
Absolutely. He's won many Weis Marcus Player of the Games throughout the year, so maybe he could get one in his final game. Number 34, that is Daniel Schultz on the first miss, but then on the putback puts it up for the first 2 points of the ball game.
Dalton, I'm looking at the size advantage for Christendom. I would say he is probably the tallest player maybe in the whole entire gym right now. Riley Young is maybe the second closest, but Central Penn's got to find a way to stop him tonight and hopefully box out and get some rebounds.
Absolutely. Well, stuff like that cannot happen. Harley was trying to pass it off to Young, but a pass a little bit off the mark. Young could not handle it. And on the other side, Christendom finishes up for another easy two. Kevon, what do you think the Knights are going to have to do to manage sort of this size advantage that Christendom has over them?
I think they're going to have to manage the tempo of the game. They're going to have to box out the bigger guys because, the Knights have been dealing with a smaller lineup the whole entire year. But as long as they can execute that, I think they can find a way to win. And finding the open guys to knock down shots, sometimes we've been spotty shooters, but I think if we can do that, that's the key to win.
I would completely agree, Kevon. Now Dahsan King headed to the line after he tried to put up that jumper and was fouled, and the Knights are on the scoreboard. Dahsan King shooting 86% from the free throw line this year, the best free throw shooter on the team, so unfortunately he will miss the second one, but he still is improving on that.
Definitely the right guy to have at the line. Look to see him attack the lane a little bit more, try and get some easy free throws. And, it's been a previous struggle before with the Knights missing a lot of free throws in key stretches. Absolutely. The starting lineup for Christendom is John Fowler, Bobby Vanderwood, Joe Curran, Michael Vanderwood, and Daniel Schultz, who I previously mentioned. After the miss, the Knights coming back down the floor. King looking for Wallace in the corner for three. Just off the mark, and it will go over the rim and into the stanchion, which will be a turnover for the Knights. Dalton, looking at the size advantage again, like we talked about, having a little bit undersized guards, but if you look at the guards also for Central Penn and Christendom, it's almost like they're the same size.
I would definitely agree. I mean, it's really just the big positions like center and power forward that Christendom has a little bit of size advantage in there. On that one, Fowler with the three from the top of the key to extend this early lead.
And I know with previous years, Christendom has always been a threat from the three-point line, so the Knights are definitely going to have to find a way to try and close out on the threes tonight.
Absolutely. Definitely going to have to put some bodies out there and limit those. Meanwhile, on the other side, Harley's now going to work at the wing. He takes the fadeaway three-pointer, but it is short and off the mark. And Curran comes away with the rebound.
Good closeout by the defender there, making sure he doesn't have any space to get that jump shot off. And with our guards and how quick they are, you like to see a little bit of pick and pop, try and get a little off advantage with the big man and drive by with, especially Dahsan King being so small and fast.
And absolutely, the last couple times in the night we've been here for Knights home games, they have been shooting the three-pointer very often and almost can generate no points in the paint. Meanwhile, Wallace takes a deep three. Riley with the rebound dishes out for King, whose three-pointer is also off the mark. Christendom Fowler went for the save, but took a step out of bounds. A miscue there from Christendom allows the Knights to maintain possession. Knights need to try and find any way to get points on the board. Harrison with the pull-up jumper. And just like that, the Knights cut the lead to 4.
You see, Dalton, that's what you want to see. Sometimes you want to see get rhythm inside the paint or take a mid-range and then you build your confidence and build it out to the three-point line. Sometimes when you start right at the three-point line, it can diminish your confidence a little bit.
Absolutely. They're there for the other side. Vanderwood and Schultz trying to work with each other, but Vanderwood's jumper in the corner will not go. Harley was going for the pull-up jumper, but a definite push-off, an easy call for the ref to make, and the ball will be going the other way.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on the right forearm on the push, and the ref was able to see it, and good call by the ref there.
It looks like both teams will be making a substitution. Anthony McClinton will be checking into the game for Harrison. And on the other side, David Ekenes will be checking into the game for Christendom. Now Fowler was driving the lane, but passes it back out. Almost the same thing they did there with Vanderwood. Vanderwood was trying to go inside to Schultz there, but good defense from Young will not allow him to complete that pass, but it will still be Christendom ball.
Good job by Young there, kind of sealing off the offensive player right there, getting his hands in the passing zone and causing that ball to go out of bounds.
Michael passes off to his brother Bobby, but will get called for the travel, and at another turnover, it will be Knights ball once again. Team on a very, interesting basketball being played so far, where a couple empty possessions and a lot of early turnovers and miscues from both teams.
Yeah, and that's something as a coach you never want to see, because when you look back at the end of the game, whether it's a win or loss, you always look back in that turnovers column and say, how could we have been better and not turn the ball over as much?
Absolutely. McClinton was in the corner there trying to take that turnaround jumper, but it was just off the mark. Now Bobby Vanderwood going to work on King. Dishes off for Fowler. Driving the lane, that's Ekins, but it is off the mark. King comes down with the rebound. Coming down the other side of the floor. Harley finds Wallace in the wing for 3, and it is good. The Knights make their first three-pointer of the night and cut the lead to 1 with 15:24 left to go in this first half.
And Darius Wallace is definitely one of those people that can very, very easily heat up when his touch is on. So hopefully he's on tonight, and hopefully the Knights can get him a way to get some good looks. And the Knights are on a fast break right now.
There you go. King coming down, finds Wallace again at the wing, but this time he's going to drive the lane. Just off the mark, might have been looking for the foul, but was not going to get that call, and Thomas comes away with the rebound.
A lot of contact there on that layup. Could have been a foul, but good 50-50 call.
Now Bobby Vanderwood with the pump fake. This is out for Fowler at the top of the key. Gets the screen from Thomas, the give and go, working on Young, and over Riley Young, Edmund Thomas with the finish. Knights trail it 9-6, 14:40. Left to go here in this first half. Riley Young, deep 3 from the top of the key, off the mark. And Edmund Thomas, with nobody around him, an easy rebound.
We got to look at the Knights to stay solid defensive here. Keep their hands active, box out, cause a turnover like that, good rotations, calling out screens, and just good job by the Knights there.
Absolutely great defense there. Michael looking for his brother Bobby, but pass slightly off the mark. And it will be another turnover for Christendom. Couple substitutions for Christendom. Charlie Evick and Daniel Schultz have checked back into the game. Knights almost with a backcourt there. Darius saves it. Now Harley looking to go to work. Drives the lane, loses the ball. I'm not quite sure who got called for the foul there, but either way, it will remain Knights ball.
And that's what we like to talk about. That's what we talked about before. If you know you're a guard and you have a slight speed advantage, you got to be able to attack, try and get Christendom into foul trouble, and beat them on the free throw line.
I completely agree. Knights the last couple times, as I mentioned earlier, have almost had no paint game. McClinton there was trying to prove me wrong and go for the layup. And Daniel Schultz with an authoritative block slaps that one right out of bounds, but it will remain Knights ball.
And if you're the Knights, you're fine with that. Just like we talked about, you want to see a little bit of pick and pop. Perfect screen by McClinton there, rolled and just a taller defender.
And I think the big reason why you want to both prove that you can shoot the free ball and drive the paint is just King takes a long fadeaway three, but it is off the mark. But you want to stretch the floor on the offensive side. If you're jacking up threes the whole game, for the defense, it's very easy for them to just key in on that and put people around the perimeter.
Exactly, Dalton. And that's why I think you see a low-scoring game like this, closing in 3 minutes until 10 minutes. It hasn't even hit double digits yet.
Bobby Vanderwood was going to work on Harley, almost got called for the foul, but luckily got it off. Now Vanderwood was in the corner for three, was off the mark, but Ekins comes away with the rebound, and that's another thing that the Knights are going to have to limit tonight, allowing Christendom to get too many offensive rebounds and second chances to put points on the board like they just did right there.
100% agree, Dalton. A lot of times, turnovers, like you said, and extra chance opportunities.
Now Wallace, another long-range three from the wing. This one is slightly off the mark, and another empty possession for the Knights. Now Christendom looking to extend this lead. Evick taking it to the middle. Fowler inside for Schultz, working on Young. This is out for Ekins. Some pretty good ball movement here from Christendom. Bobby Vanderwood wide open there. And the mid-range two is off the mark. Now King coming down. Just narrowly avoided the travel, got the shot off, but it was off the mark. And Schultz in the right position to get that rebound.
See, Dalton, that's where you want to see a little bit of a pullout. It's a lot. It's a 2-on-1, especially if you have two bigger defenders on you. Wait for your other teammates to come down and try and get a better shot.
I completely agree. Bobby Vanderwood's shot there from the free throw line is off the mark. Young came away with the rebound. Harley, the long range three from the top of the key. Schultz off the mark, and Ekins comes away with the rebound. Another missed three-pointer here for the Knights early on in this one.
Dalton, sometimes when you see a lot of close shots go like that, you would like to see sometimes Coach Martin call a timeout and draw some plays up. Maybe look for the 5-minute mark, just roll with some plays and hopefully get that going, but it doesn't seem like he's going to do that.
I don't know, and an unfortunate defensive possession for the Knights. Young slapped the ball out of Schultz's hand and seemed like he was going to get the steal, but Fowler was in the right position to clean it up and put a layup up. McClinton takes another long-range three-pointer, and the Knights at some point are going to have to change the offensive strategy. They are taking entirely too many three-pointers, and they've only made 2 of them, I believe.
Dalton, there's a wise saying out there, you either live by the three or die by the three. And right now, we are dying by the three heavily.
Well, luckily a good defensive play there from Young, but unfortunately a little bit too good defensive play, and it will send Schultz to the line for 2.
Dalton, I'm not going to lie to you. If I'm Coach Martin here after these 2 free throws, I'd probably call a timeout, try and get a little play going, and try to tell your team, let's try and focus more on the inside versus in the three-point line.
I completely agree. Schultz misses the first free throw. He's only shooting 48% from the free throw line, so the Knights might have a little bit of strategy there towards down to lay in the game. If they need some fouls, just go at him, because there's about a 50-50 shot that he misses his free throws. And just like that, he makes 50% of his free throws, extends to the Christendom lead. A couple substitutions for the Knights. Aaron Harrison has checked back into the game, as well as Garland Amaker has also checked into the game for the first time tonight. Knights desperately need to get something going on the offensive side here. Trailing by 5. Harrison with another long-range three off the mark again.
Dalton, I don't even know what to say. I think we've said everything that we could say about the three-point line.
If you're going good and you're making your threes, I have no problem with it. But right now, the Knights are just seemingly shooting threes anytime they get the chance to, and they're just not falling. Knights trail at 14-6. 10 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in this first half. No stoppages other than a few times people have gone to the line so far. McClinton drives the lane, but a little circus shot is off the mark. Vanderwood dishes off for Evick, and the finish. And Coach Gary Martin finally calls timeout with 10:17 left to go in this first half. Well, while we're here at the break, just want to give a quick shout out to our season-long sponsor for both basketball and baseball, my apologies, Weis Markets. Weis Markets proudly supports our military. As a thank you for our appreciation, Weis Markets offers a 10% discount on participating Weis brand products every Thursday to all active duty, reserve, retired, and military veterans. Thank you for your service. See store for more details. Knights trail it by 10, 16-6, 10-17 left to go in the first half. Kevon, what do you think the Knights, I mean, obviously we know the problem on the offensive side. You spread the floor a little more, try and get some mid-range and, paint offense going. What do you think the Knights are going to do on the defense to slow down what Christendom's doing?
Dalton, when you're scoring efficiently and fluently, it makes less pressure on the defense for you to get a stop, knowing that you can go down and score. But when you're not scoring, it makes defense a whole lot harder because you have to basically be perfect and hopefully pray that you can get something going on the offensive end.
Completely agree, and hopefully the Knights offense with this possession can give themselves some relief. Harley takes the long range two, but that is off the mark, but a good hustle play from Harley to tip that out of Fowler's hands. But either way, it will remain Christendom ball, and now Dahsan King has checked back into the game for Harley. Bobby Vanderwood looking for the screen from Schultz, now drives the lane. This is out for Evick, who now drives the lane. A good ball movement there from Christendom as Fowler on the finish to extend this lead to 12.
And Dalton, if you're wondering why the score is what it is, you see Christendom on the offensive end, moving the ball a lot, setting screens, making a lot of motion, making the Knights move, and they're getting easy backdoor cuts and side screens for layups, and the Knights, as you can see, sometimes settling for too many one-on-one shots.
As Harrison right there to circle one-on-one shot, but a make from Harrison, the long range two, cuts the lead to 10.
And that's Harrison's game. Long mid-range shots. He's been great at doing that all year. And, that's what the Knights just have to continue to do. Get the mid-range and not worry too much about the three-pointers.
Absolutely. Now Schultz going to work on Amaker, and that's just an easy hook shot for him to finish up there. And as you mentioned, Christendom's ball handling and ball movement right now is creating a lot of open lanes on offense for them. Hopefully the Knights can adopt something like that on their offensive side. Meanwhile, McClinton puts up another long-range three from behind the top of the court, but it is off the mark.
Dalton, for Christendom's sake, it's so easy to have a big man when they jump and his head's already looking at the rims, and all he has to do is reach about half a centimeter to put it right in the basket.
Absolutely. As you just mentioned that he had an easy layup there. Amaker just trying to avoid getting called for the foul, and an easy finish there from Schultz. Now King, good inside pass to McClinton. And the nice finish there and the good play from King and McClinton cuts this lead to 12, and that's something the Knights are going to have to do if they want to get back in this one.
Good job by McClinton there, noticing his defender was caught sleeping. Made a good backdoor cut and good up and under layup.
Christendom on the other end. Knights looking to get a stop, trying to claw themselves back in this one. And the steal from Amaker. Loses the ball, but luckily no one was in the area. Now looking to go and work on Schultz, and he loses the ball for the second time that possession. This time, it leads to the steal, and down on the other end is Fowler to clean up the mess.
Sometimes, Dalton, when you do something good, your pride gets in the way a little bit. You want to get a good steal, get the basket for your reward, but once again, just bad outing for the Knights right there.
Yep, Amaker a little too hasty coming down the court with that ball and lost his handling. It leads to two more Christendom points. However, on the other side, Knights looking to respond. King going up for the jumper and draws the foul from Kern and will head to the line for the second time tonight.
Perfect guy we want on the Knights to be on the free throw line, like we said, above 80% free throw shooter, so hopefully he can knock down these next two free throws.
That's the first free throw shot from King rattles home. Couple substitutions, Riley Young will check into the game for Wallace. Meanwhile, on Christendom's side, Ekins, Thomas, and Michael Vanderwood have checked back into the game.
Second free throw off there by King. Christendom moving the ball here. Knights doing a good job communicating, fighting around those screens.
And the long-range three from Michael Vanderwood is off the mark. Almost coming away with an offensive rebound, but luckily McClinton in the right area. King going up for the finish. And a nice play there from the Knights.
And hopefully with this little surge, Dalton, this starts to bring just a little bit of momentum, slowly going and going, and hopefully builds up to us taking the lead before halftime with 6 minutes.
Absolutely, and there, the momentum starting to build as Vanderwood got the screen from Thomas, but gets called for the travel, and another turnover for Christendom.
This is where the momentum swing can start for the Knights.
Absolutely. Need to feed on this and try to get any points on the board you can. Harrison, the long-range three, and now we're finally starting to see some shots fall for the Knights as they have cut the lead to 8. Now Vanderwood going inside for Thomas. His shot is off the mark. King comes away with the rebound. Nice looking to push the pace here. King, the long-range two. It is off the mark. And Ekins will come away with the rebound.
Dal, that's where you like to see King pass the ball there. Coming down, had Riley Young wide open at the top of the key for a wide open three.
Absolutely. I don't mind pushing the pace there, trying to keep the momentum going, but maybe a little bit smarter, pass selection there from the Knights would have worked wonders. Meanwhile, on the other side, Edmund Thomas with the easy layup. Now McClinton puts up another three, but it is off the mark.
Dal, just a really rough shot there. I mean, if you look at how many white jerseys were past half court, there was only 2 of them, and that was King and McClinton right there.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, on the other side, Christendom being very patient and working the floor as Fowler finds Thomas on the inside, and he drives the lane with almost no competition for the easy two. And that's something the Knights have got themselves caught in offensively. Just too many put-up, spot-up shots as Harrison with another one there is off the mark. Amaker comes away with the rebound, and now McClinton finishes up the mess. Back-to-back offensive rebounds for the Knights.
Good job by the Knights down there fighting for those rebounds, especially with the bigger defenders. Good job by McClinton taking one dribble out and getting that right.
Knights trailing at 28-18 with 4 minutes left. And Ekins driving the lane draws the N1 foul and will head to the line for a possible 3-point play. Now a couple of substitutions as Anthony McClinton and Amaker have checked out of the game. Darius Wallace is coming back in, and Khalil Moultrie will check into the game for the first time tonight. Ekins, who is a 70% free throw shooter, makes it a 3-point play for Christendom. Knights trying to get some offense going here, trying to run some sets. We're going to see what they can do. Moultrie with the pump fake, drives the lane on 2 defenders. His shot is blocked, gets his own rebound, but just too much to handle there for Moultrie, and Michael Vanderwood will come away with the rebound.
Moultrie made a good move right there. He had 2 defenders on him, pump fake, got both of them off their feet, stepped through, just unfortunately missed, and then Christendom just being efficient like they've been all night.
Yep, good pass in there, finding Fowler at the top of the key, wide open for the three-pointer, and they continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, King, good pass inside for Young, but a great block from Thomas causes the turnover.
It's a good recovery there by Thomas, getting beat for half a second, coming back and being able to block Riley Young's shot.
And Fowler took a little bit of a heat check there, it was off the mark, but Christendom came away with the offensive rebound, and Edmund Thomas with the three-pointer from the corner to extend this lead to 37-18 as Coach Gary Martin will call a timeout with 3 minutes and 41 seconds left to go in the first half.
It's hard to study when you're hungry. The College Pantry can help. Central Penn College and your Student Government Association are committed to ensuring that all of our CPC's Knights have access to food when they need it. Requests are kept anonymous and can be submitted online. Look for the link under the links section of the Student Central or contact Lindsay Garber, Director of Housing and Residence Life at Lindsay Garber at centralpenn.edu.
As we take a quick look at some of the stats early on in this one, Christendom leading the way is John Fowler with 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Edmund Thomas with 9 points of his own, and Daniel Schultz 7 points, 7 rebounds. Meanwhile, On the side for Central Penn, Aaron Harrison leading the way with 7 points. Dahsan King and Anthony McClinton both with 4. As Harrison puts up another jumper for the free throw line, is slightly off the mark. Christendom comes away with the rebound. Atkins gives off for Curran, who takes up the jumper. But I believe it was Harrison who will get called for the foul and send Curran to the line.
You know, Dalton, I didn't see much contact there. It must have been on the elbow when he was going up, but very minimum contact.
Definitely, just to say the least, a very questionable call, but either way, Christendom heads to the line for 2. Apparently, this is Curran's first 2 free throws of the season, as he has no percentage, so so far he's got an 1,000 free throw percentage. His second one is off the mark, and now King will come away with the rebound. King waiting for his teammates to get there, trying to run some offense. Young going to work on Schultz, the fadeaway jumper, and the nice shot there from Young. Knights trail it by 18.
Good job by Young to take his defender from the three-point line, back him into the paint, get him backpedaling a little bit, take a step back, and get enough space to knock down that jumper.
Now on the other side, a steal, almost a steal from King, but luckily Bobby Vanderwood was in the right spot to get it. Dishes off for Atkins at the top of the key, and another long-range three-pointer stretches the lead for Christendom. Now Moultrie might have been looking for a screen there from Harrison, but decided to dish it off to him instead. Now Young going to work on Schultz, and the hook shot there. Back-to-back possessions, points for Young, as the Knights are continuing or looking to try and crawl back in this one.
Great soft touch right there by Young. And you know, Dalton, that's what we talked about in the beginning of the game. It starts from inside and it moves towards the outside.
Hopefully the Knights looking to get a stop here. Christendom with some good ball movement here. Vanderwood on the outside, drives on King, puts up the shot. I believe it is an offensive 3 seconds in the paint. Either way, Christendom will get the ball back. Now Schultz at the free throw line, fakes the jumper. Now Fowler gives it back inside to Schultz, going to work on Young, puts up a hook shot of his own, and bounces around, but will go.
A little bit of I'll match you there coming from him. Seeing Riley Young do that same hook shot, comes back and challenges him to do the same thing.
Absolutely. Now on the other side, Young again going to work on Schultz. The fadeaway jumper off the mark, but a great rebound from Moultrie. Tried to put the shot back up, but Schultz was there to block it, but got a little bit too much contact and will send Moultrie to the line for 2. Moultrie's first shot is off the mark. He is a 73% free throw shooter, but unfortunately his first one is off the mark. And the second one is also off the mark as Schultz comes away with the rebound. 1:15 left to go here in the first half. Knights trail at 43-22. If you're just joining us, Dalton, Koller, Kevon Davis on the call. If you're in the area, why not come on, stop by. Meanwhile, for Christendom, Fowler drives the lane. His layup is off the mark. Young got the rebound, looking to push up the pace, and the ref will call the back and forth, and a little bit of lack of focus from the Knights as Young was trying to get it off for King, but just by a foot will get called for the backcourt violation.
You know, Dawn, I was wondering if they made that call off of where he touched the ball and where it was located, because it looked like he was over, but it might have been where the pass was thrown.
And, Fowler puts up a long-range three. It is off the mark. Now McClinton really looking to push the pace. Dishes off the King in the wing for 3, but it is off the mark. And And another missed three for the Knights.
You know, if you're Christendom here, you're holding the ball until the last very lucky you can get a shot off, and then only leave Central Penn with maybe 2 or 3 seconds left.
Now Ekins was driving the lane, but McClinton will get called for the foul and send Ekins to the line. Ekins will make the first of 2. And he makes both. Christendom leads at 45-22. Shot clock will be unplugged. 20 seconds left to go in the first half.
You know, you want to see the Knights get a good quality shot here. Got 10 seconds to look for something good. Let's see what the Knights come up with.
Absolutely. McClinton gets the screen from Young. Going to try and hold the ball as long as possible. Harrison takes the long-range shot. It is off the mark. McClinton and Bobby Vanderwood fighting for the ball there. And jump ball is called, which means it is Christendom ball.
Only 2 seconds left. Just throwing up a half-court prayer here, or see if they can try and get something down the court.
It's dished off. Curran took the half-court jumper, but it was just off the mark. And going into halftime, Knights not having the first half performance they were looking for. They trail at 45-22 going into the break. Kevon, what do you think the Knights are going to have to do going into halftime? What strategy do you think they're going to be talking about in the locker room?
You know, Dalton, first I would like to see their shot chart looking at the inside shots versus the outside shots. I know it would be a large margin, but second off, you got to look at what's been working for the Knights. The mid-range shots have been working for the Knights, and also posting up down low. And then once you post up, you got to move the other guards around and try and get a backdoor cut for a layup.
Well, hopefully the Knights and Coach Martin can find a strategy to get themselves back in this one. We'll be back in just 15 minutes for the second half of Knights action. Welcome back here for the second half of action for the Knights. Face it off against Christendom College. The Knights trail it 45-22 coming out of the break. Kevon, what do you think were some of the shortcomings for the Knights in that first half?
Dalton, I mean, let's start off with the main thing. I believe it's 2 for 16 coming from 3. I mean, it's a really bad 3-point percentage. You can't win a game when you're shooting like that. And the Knights has got to find a way to pound the inside. And let's see how they come out after the second half.
Well, the Knights will start with the ball, so they're looking to try and mount any sort of offensive momentum here early in the second half. Now Wallace drives the lane. Honor Vanderwood is off the mark. McClinton gets the offensive rebound, but it is just slightly off the mark. And it will be Christendom who are looking to extend their lead.
You know, though, that's not a first bad possession after the second half. Getting a wide open shot right there in the middle of the key. Just an unfortunate miss from McClinton there, but that's the type of shot you want to see.
I do agree that was a good shot selection from Wallace. We have a little bit of miscommunication. I think it might have been the shot clock. Either way, it will still be Christendom ball. The starting lineup for the Knights here to begin the second half is McClinton, Harley, King, Young, and Wallace. Meanwhile, for Christendom, it's Fowler, Robert Vanderwood, Michael Vanderwood, Joe Curran, and Daniel Schultz. As now Schultz inside the paint, going to work on Young. Finds Michael Vanderwood at the wing, who now drives on Wallace, and the Knights reverse lay. And a good finish there from Christendom.
Good move right there.
Now Young, the deep corner too, is just slightly off the mark, and Michael Vanderwood will come away with the rebound. Christendom, they've been having some really good ball movement and passing all night as they go inside to Daniel Schultz, and that one rattles around and finds its way in.
You know, Schultz is definitely the key player for Christendom. Being with how big he is, you know, he runs through the offense. And, you know, that's what you want to see the Knights do. Start down low, have everybody move, and that's how you create open shots.
Absolutely. Well, they're kind of slowing down the pace a little bit. King looking for the screen from Young. Now drives the lane, and a nice finish from King. He will head to the line for the possible three-point play.
Perfect strategy right there by the Knights. Take a little slip screen. King slides by, takes the contact, able to finish for that and one layup.
And one thing I will say, the Knights, they are winning the turnover battle. Christendom has 6. Knights only have 3. So they've been doing a very good job with that. But the big thing, the other thing I'm noticing that's kind of biting the Knights in the heel right now, Christendom has 27 rebounds to Knights only 16. That's definitely a very big issue they're going to have to correct on.
Exactly, just like how we said, second chance points and second chance opportunities are always what keeps the team in the fight.
Well, that right there, Fowler's shot was off the mark. Harley came away with the rebound, and King's the long-range three from the wing, but it is good, and the Knights are continuing to try and close the gap. Real quick, while we have a break, take another quick shout-out for our sponsor, Weis Markets. Freshness matters, especially in produce. Weis Markets know the importance of fresh produce. We take the time to hand stack our produce instead of selling it from the box to ensure every item is great quality and guaranteed fresh for our customers. Visit weismarkets.com//rewards for more information. I think the big thing, I was just talking about the rebounds. The big difference is the defensive rebounds. Christendom has 23, while the Knights only have 12. I mean, that's just something that cannot happen for the Knights the rest of the way.
They definitely gotta try and run a little bit of a 2-3 zone where you have more defenders in the paint to try and get rebounds and hopefully get second chance on the offensive end too, as long as they run their right sets. And wide open three right there by the Christendom.
Yep, just slightly off the mark is Michael Vanderwood. And after a little bit of tipping around, Young gets the ball, drives the court all the way. Now Harley, the pump fake from Wallace, takes the 2-point jumper. And just like that, the Knights are starting to crawl back. Now the lead is less than 20.
Oh, and that was beautiful basketball right there. Coming down, not settling for the three, pump fake, making sure he gets down to the defender, and made sure he got a nice easy mid-range.
Yep, and a lot of contact there as Curran was looking inside for Schultz, but a lot of contact with Hartley, and it will lead to a turnover, and the Knights get another stop and get the ball back.
You know, Dalton, as you know from being in baseball, momentum is a huge thing for the Knights. If they can get a basket here, you start to see the momentum slowly starting to shift their way.
Absolutely, it's starting to build a little bit. They could get a couple more, scores and a couple more empty possessions on defense. They might be right back in this one as McClinton with the turnaround jumper from the free throw line. And just like that, the Knights are starting to really put the pedal to the metal here.
And like we talked about before in the first half, when you're scoring on offense, it makes it easier on defense because you guys are more energized, you feel the momentum going with you, and you're playing a little bit harder.
Absolutely. Now Fowler going inside to Schultz, who's working on Young. The left-handed hook is off the mark. He gets his own rebound, goes for the same exact shot. Good defense from Riley Young, but unfortunately will get called for the foul and send Schultz to the line. As we mentioned earlier, Schultz, not the best of free throw shooters, only 48% on the year, as that one barely hits the net, almost an air ball on that free throw attempt. But the second one will be on the mark, and now Christendom has eclipsed the 50-point mark. As McClinton on the other side, a long-range three is off the mark. Young tried to get that rebound, but gets boxed out by Michael Vanderwood, and Christendom will be working the ball back down the court. And now Schultz on two defenders. Wallace tried to tip it free, but got a little bit too much of Schultz's arm there. And for the second straight possession, as a correction, will not send Schultz to the line. It will still remain Christendom ball, though. Christendom trying to get something going on offense. They've been fairly quiet to start off the first half. As now Schultz going to work on Young again. That little hook shot is off the mark. Wallace coming away with the rebound, going right for the lane, but gets his pocket picked by Fowler, and it will be out of bounds, but it will remain Central Penn ball.
That's just unfortunate right there for Wallace. You know, good reaching by the defender, go right around the back, poke the ball, and if he didn't, I think Wallace had a wide open layup right there.
Absolutely, he did great defensive play. Meanwhile, Edmund Thomas has checked back into the game for Schultz. As now 24 going to work on 24. Young with the fadeaway jumper, but it is just off the mark. Fowler taking the ball down the court for Christendom. Now Ekins drives the lane and had a wide open lane to the rim there for the easy two.
You know, Dalton, what Christendom just did there is called a four-pool. Is when one person drives and the rest of the players just clear out and let them get a wide open lane.
It worked great for Christendom, and after the miss from Central Penn, Riley Young, a great play to take that charge, and it will create a turnover and another offensive possession for the Knights.
You know, Dalton, I would love to know how many charges Riley Young has taken over the amount of years, because every game that we commentate, he has at least one charge that he has.
Absolutely. Always in the right spot at the right time to draw those fouls. It's just great awareness all the time for Riley Young. He takes the long-range three, but is off the mark. Hartley trying to jump over three defenders to get the rebound, but no dice. And it will be Christendom ball. Now Ekins. This is all for Bobby Vanderwood. Christendom really slowing down the pace. He's looking for a screen from Thomas. Gets a second one. Puts up that fadeaway jumper. And a tough shot there from Vanderwood stretches the lead for Christendom.
No, that's a really tough shot for Vanderwood. I mean, Riley Young is about 3 feet taller than he is, and the fact that he was able to get that shot over him is really impressive.
Absolutely, and the fact he was able to create that much separation from just a fadeaway shot was very impressive. Meanwhile, the Knights have run several second opportunities. They almost made that one, but Unfortunately, Vanderwood comes away with the rebound, dishes off for his brother, Michael, but they will hold on to the ball and try to milk some clock here.
You know, the surprising thing I just seen was that King got a rebound with 3 Christendom defenders, and King being one of the smallest people on the court.
McClinton now on the other side puts up the jumper, but he will draw the foul and head to the line.
Good job by McClinton. Once again, when you see your defenders backpedaling, that's what you always want to do, attack them and make them to slap down and get free throws.
Absolutely, and the no fear of just driving the lane and not being afraid to draw the contact and draw the foul. As Coach Martin will call a timeout as Riley Young will be limped off the court and head to the trainer's table. Hopefully he is okay and will be able to return. But either way, McClinton will be still heading to the line for 2. And the first one is a make. McClinton 72.7 from the free throw line this year. And that number continues to grow as he makes both. And now the Knights trail it 54-34, 13-30 left to go here in this one. And now Fowler, the long-range 3 from the top of the key is off the mark. Harrison comes away with the rebound. And the Knights trying to push the pace here, trying to get points on the board quick. King from the corners, 3-pointers off the mark, and another empty possession for the Knights. They need to get a stop here.
Definitely, but I feel like with the Knights right now, the ball movement just really isn't there. Maybe you'd like to see a lot of people getting touches. That's how a good offense usually rotates. But when you're down late in this game, you just got to try and get up anything that you can.
Absolutely. Christendom Thomas setting a lot of screens for them, but that jumper is off the mark. But Ekins able to fight for that offensive rebound and get Christendom a second opportunity to put points on the board. They try and start their play up over again. Thomas inside. Layup was off the mark. And I think he tried to throw the ball off of Harrison, but instead hits his own teammate in the head. And it will be off of Christendom and be a turnover, and it will be Knights ball.
You know, Dalton, one of the main things I'm really seeing is we don't get defensive rebounds is there's not a lot of guys in the paint. Most of the guards are smart by Christendom, staying behind the three-point line and letting their size advantage play into their factor.
Absolutely, it's limited to not a lot of second chance opportunities for Central Penn and a lot for Christendom. Meanwhile, McClinton with the nice finish there. And the Knights, with 12 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in this one, need to almost play perfectly to try and get back into this one. Playing double teaming on Fowler. One of them will get called for the foul. It'll be Hartley who will get called for the foul. Foul trouble for the Knights. No one's really in foul trouble, although that was Hartley's third foul of the game, so just 2 more. He'll be out of the game, but a great steal from Hartley. And down on the other side, lays it in. A great play from Hartley.
You know, it seems like Hartley's like kind of reminds me like a small, gritty player, kind of like a Patrick Beverly. Showing energy coming off the bench, getting his hands active on defense very fast, and we'd like to see that for the Knights, and hopefully in the future you can get more minutes.
Absolutely. Very wiry player, both on the offensive and defensive side, providing a lot of speed for the Knights. Meanwhile, Thomas going to work on Harrison, and that underhand finish is just too easy as Christendom continues to extend their lead. Meanwhile, King, the jumper from the free throw line, and the make. And for the second time this half, King with a chance for a three-point play. Knights trail 56-40, 11:27 left to go in action. Kaleem Moultrie has checked back into the game for Hartley. And King makes another free throw. And just like that, the Knights trying to find themselves back into this one, but they need to get a couple stops to do so. Fowler. A clear lane around McClinton. McClinton tried to put a hand on, but unfortunately gets called for the foul and will send Fowler to the line for the three-point play of his own.
You know, Dalton, you would like to see the Knights switch from a man defense to a zone defense. It's clear that they're getting beat off the pick and roll and they're getting down screen and getting beat on cuts. So you would like to see them try and change into a zone so it's a little bit less confusing when the people are going through the lanes.
Absolutely. Well, it seems like on the offensive side for the Knights, they've switched their strategy and allowed themselves to try and come back in this game, but hopefully they can do the same on defense. Also, during those free throw shots, Daniel Schultz checked back in the game for Christendom. Meanwhile, Wallace, the deep, long-range three, and it is good. And the Knights are starting to get a lot more shots to fall, and they are definitely trying to start to build some momentum. Cross-court pass for Fowler.
And see, Dalton, if you look right now in Christendom, when you see everybody moving, there's at least one person wide open at each time.
Absolutely, and there's always seems like their big man, whether it's Schultz or Thomas, is there to set a screen, but King able to get around said screen and create the turnover for Central Penn as they get the ball back. A very good defensive possession there for the Knights, and they need to try and build. Wallace, the long-range three from the Pulpit logo. What a shot from Wallace. Forces Christendom to call their first time out of the half as the Knights now only trail by 12.
The Knightly News Media Club at Central Penn College is looking for new members. Members have the opportunity to get hands-on experience writing for our student publication, the Knightly News, and being a part of the Knightly News podcast, and being a part of our sports live stream broadcast as you are watching or listening to right now. Email Club Advisor Professor Paul Miller at paulmiller@centralpenn.edu.
Professor Paul Miller on production tonight for the broadcast. Just want to give a quick shout out to him. He's been absolutely great both on production and commentary this year. So again, if you want to join the Knightly News and be a part of this broadcast for the future, go ahead, give him an email, give him a shout out. And real quick, while we still have the chance to once again, give another quick shout out to Weis Markets. If you're searching for new recipes, you can visit weismarkets.com or download the mobile app to view thousands of recipes. With this large variety, there's sure to be a new meal your family will love. Cook something new with Weis Markets. Kevon, going into halftime, things seemed very bleak for Central Penn, both on the offensive and defensive side, just nothing going their way. But here, the last couple of minutes, they've gotten themselves in a very favorable position to come back in this one. What do you think has been part of that success?
I think the ferocious intensity is starting to be contagious with the Knights. Everybody's starting to play a little harder. And the big thing is making shots. You know, early on in the game, the Knights looked like they had a lid on their side of the rim, but now they're starting to see more shots fall.
Absolutely. Defensively there, they got a little bit too aggressive and trying to double team too many people, which is obviously going to mean someone's going to be wide open, and this time it was Zevic who had a wide open look at the rim for two. Now King, the step back three is short and off the mark. That would have been absolutely electric if he could have made that one, but unfortunately, no dice. Now Vanderwood was looking for the screen from Schultz. A great play from King to intercept that pass. Finds Wallace at the wing for three. He dishes it off for McClinton, who puts up the three, but it is off the mark. And Harrison was looking for a push-off foul there from Schultz, but he got boxed out, and he will not get the rebound.
That would have been huge for the Knights. McClinton on a trail three, right from the top of the key. Bad reach right there by Wallace and gets burned for a layup.
Yep, Bobby Vanderwood able to blow past Wallace right there and get right to the rim for the easy two, as now Central Penn will call a timeout of their own.
Central Penn College Student Government Association is a voice for all students, those living on campus, those studying online, and those returning to continue their education. SGA is here to make your time at Central Penn College the best experience possible. You can contact SGA with any questions, comments, or concerns by emailing sga@centralpenn.edu.
And if you need an on-the-go breakfast, or snack, you can swing by Weis Markets to pick up the fresh in-store cut fruit. Weis Markets also offers large pre-cut fruit platters for family gatherings or parties. Go ahead and visit weismarkets.com for more details. 9 minutes, 19 seconds left to go in this one. Knights trail it 63-47. As we go back and take a look at some of the individual stats again, you can always visit centralpennknights.com for every one of our home games to view the live stats. For Central Penn, leading the way, Dahsan King with 13 points and 7 rebounds, Darius Wallace with 11 points, and Anthony McClinton in his final game in a Central Penn uniform, 10 points and 5 rebounds. Meanwhile, for Christendom, John Fowler leading the way with 15 points, David Ekenes with 13, Daniel Schultz with 12, and Edmund Thomas with 11. Coming off the timeout, Knights trying to get something going here.
Way better ball movement this time around by the Knights. No, Dalton, you see like every time they come out of the timeout, that's when they're starting to gather themselves, start to run a little bit more of a college offense.
Absolutely. And Wallace's three was off the mark, but Harrison was in the right spot to get the rebound. Now King with the jumper, and Moultrie was in the right spot to get the rebound. And it will remain Knights ball. Moultrie will head to the line for two. A great offensive possession there for the Knights to continue to fight for those rebounds and give themselves second chance opportunities. Moultrie, his shot is just off the mark. Riley Young has checked back into the game for Aaron Harrison. Good pass off there from Fowler to Schultz, who had the open look at the two, but instead will draw the foul and once again head to the free throw line. And Schultz makes his first of two. After Schultz makes both, Christendom now leads at 65-47. Moultrie trying to drive the lane, but just losing a little bit of a ball handle there. And it will go out of bounds. He will head to the free throw line.
Good drive there by Moultrie. Very aggressive, putting his head down and getting those two free throws.
Back-to-back possessions, Moultrie able to draw the foul. But unfortunately, he will miss that one. As now Joe Curran will check into the game for Ekenes. Moultrie just off the mark again. And another missed free throw there for Central Penn. Christendom continuing to try and extend their lead. Schultz going to work, puts that hook shot, it's off the mark. King comes away with it, looking to push the pace. He spins, but it's stolen from Bobby Vander. What a great play there. As he's waiting for his teammates to catch up, puts up the three-pointer, but it is off the mark, and Moultrie comes away with the rebound.
Wallace wide open on the wing.
Fast-paced action here, back and forth, but Wallace, his three-pointer is off the mark. And now Christendom with the ball, Vanderwood. They're continuing to try and push the pace, but Moultrie tried to come away with the steal there, but it will remain Christendom ball.
Seems like Moultrie's going to get subbed out.
Yep, Richard Harley will check back into the game for Moultrie. Fowler got the screen there from Schultz, but now they give and go. Schultz again, his hook shot is off the mark. Young coming away with the rebound. King thought about doing something there, but instead finds McClinton at the top of the key for three, but it is off the mark. Harley tried to grab the rebound, but gets called for a push-off, and it will be Christendom ball. And Coach Martin and Harley do not agree with the call.
Definitely hard when you're fighting for inside position for a rebound, especially as a smaller guy like Harley. You know, sometimes when you're trying to get that rebound, you end up hooking the defender a little bit, and that's what ends up happening there.
After the inbound, King smacked the ball out of Evik's hands, but obviously Christendom smart enough to box out and let that one just go out of bounds. They almost lost one there, and that would have been Central Penn ball this time, but fortunately for them, Fowler was able to get a hand on it. Meanwhile, Schultz fakes the jumper and goes back down and has a wide open layup for two.
Yeah, good job by Schultz by getting Riley Young off his feet. Riley, you know, sometimes you stay disciplined, stay on your feet. Wallace there, good spin move, miss. Offensive rebound, King wide open for three and knocks it down.
And makes it a really nice play there from Wallace. Unfortunately, wouldn't get it to go, but King finishes up. Christendom forced to call timeout. 6 minutes, 44 seconds left to go in this one. Knights trail it 67-50.
The Central Penn College app was designed with students in mind. The app brings the school to your fingertips and enables you to connect with the Central Penn community. To stay on top of your events, classes, and assignments with the built-in calendar function, and get notified of important dates, deadlines, and security announcements. Make friends, ask questions, and access campus resources at any time. Search Central Penn College in the App Store.
Weis Markets is proud to be an American-owned and operated company since 1912. We make our own ice cream and source our milk locally in Sunbury, Pennsylvania. Weis Markets also has its own meat processing plant in Sunbury, Pennsylvania. We keep our operations local to ensure great, fresh, Weis quality products for our customers.
You know, Dalton, you're seeing a little bit more of on-ball pressure in the second half for the Knights, especially when inbound passes, you know, causing Christendom to be a little disorganized and making them call a timeout there.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely putting the pressure on and forcing them to call that timeout. Just hopefully see if we can get that same pressure and try and get some stops here and allow and give their offense a chance to come back in this one. And as you mentioned, the Knights offense has definitely been a lot better here in the second half, so has allowed their defense to play a lot more freely and a lot better. Now Vanderwood getting the screen from Schultz, but King able to find a way around it as that play gets blown up. Really good defense here from the Knights, not allowing them to drive the lane at all. Fowler gets another screen and another screen, but McClinton is able to stay on it. A double team, which allows Evik to get a wide open look at the rim, but I believe he did not get the shot off, and it'll be a shot clock violation. Or no, sorry, no, the shots did count. King, his jumper is off the mark.
Right at the buzzer, Dalton, right with that shot of the shot clock.
I was almost certain that he did not get that shot off, but either way, he did get it off. Now Fowler getting another screen from Schultz, puts up the floater, and it is good. And now Christendom have stretched their lead back to 21. Now King, a wide open look at the lane, at the rim. A nice finish, and again, draws another foul and potential for another three-point play.
Good drive by there by King, you know, being a smaller guy, going right at the big defender, taking the contact. Good finger roll layup.
Absolutely, and one thing I will always give credit to is players like Dahsan King, which the Knights have a lot of. They're just not afraid to draw the contact and just go right up to the rim, be able to draw fouls, but still able to get finishes as well. Wallace able to get around that screen from Schultz. Forces Christendom to pass it off, but really good ball movement. Creates a wide open look for Vanderwood, who missed it, but Schultz able to get that offensive rebound and put it back up.
Just right place, right time for Schultz coming down from the court and seeing a missed layup and being able to jump right off of it.
It almost makes you wonder if that was like almost designed for just a backup plan if he does miss that Schultz is in the area to get that rebound and put it back up.
You know, Dalton, by the way it looked, you would think that it was perfectly executed if it was.
Well, an empty possession for the Knights allows Christendom to come back to court and try to further extend their lead. Another screen from Schultz. Was looking to set another one on McClinton, but he didn't even need it. Vanderwood was able to get around him, but the layup was off the mark. Now McClinton on the other side, looking to go coast to coast. And a nice underhand finish puts it in for two.
You know, Dalton, we might have to question if McClinton was even looking at the basket there. It almost looked like he did a little Michael Jordan little spin right behind the head.
Almost a great finish there. Meanwhile, on the other side, John Fowler from the corner, a wide open three. And that is just something that you cannot allow to happen. You cannot let Christendom find open space because they will make those open shots. Now Young puts up a three-pointer of his own. It's just off the mark. And Curran will come away with the rebound for Christendom.
You know, if you're Christendom, you start to look at the clock and you start to use the shot clock as your best friend of every possession to wind it down as slow as you can.
Absolutely. Just short of 4 minutes left to go in this one. They definitely want to slow down the pace, but they're continuing to put points on the board as Evick drives the lane there. Now King, the step back three, James Harden style, but it is off the mark. The Knights trail at 78-55. 3 minutes, 30 seconds left to go in this one, and Christendom will call a timeout.
Calling all gamers, Central Penn College was recently accepted into the National Association of College Esports. We are now a part of the association that boosts more than 130 schools and over 3,000 students athletes. If you have any interest in the Central Penn Gaming Club or the esports program, please reach out to the club advisor, Donnie Lewis.
And with Weis to go online, Weis Markets will do the shopping for you. Shop for your favorite products online or on our app anytime and anywhere. Then choose to pick up your groceries curbside or have them delivered to your house. Visit weismarkets.com/shop for more information. Well, Kevon, the final 3 minutes and 30 seconds for the Knights season. They trail it by 23. If there's any chance for them to try and come back in this one and mount a last-minute comeback, they're going to have to do it now.
100% agree with you, Dalton. This is where the Knights just have to go. You know, coming out of the timeout, Coach Brock tells them with 3:29 left, you just have to try and get as many open looks as you can, and you got to knock down those shots if you want to have a chance to bring it close.
Part of that thing that they're going to have to do is create empty possessions for Christendom. And they get caught up in man defense again, and Edmund Thomas under the rim for the two-pointer and will head to the line for possibly three. Now Darius Wallace has checked out of the game for Central Penn. That one's off the mark. A maker was trying to go for the rebound, but hit it back out. Christendom came away with the loose ball. I think there was an issue with a shot clock there, so the ref stops play, but either way, it will still be Christendom ball. Now Ekines gets the screen from Thomas. But he will get called for the foul and create the turnover.
Good job right there by Bursley to fight over that screen. Offensive guy ended up sticking out his leg just a little bit, hooked him, and got the call.
Now Harrison, a long-range jumper, and it is good. Just short of 3 minutes left to go in this one. A lot of ball movement here from Christendom. Michael Vanderwood drives the lane, finds Fowler in the corner, who takes it back to the middle. Curran fakes the three, dishes off. A lot of screens and a lot of ball movement from Christendom. They're draining a lot of clock. Only 1 second left to go on the shot clock. Fowler put it up and it was off the mark, and McClinton comes away with it. Full court pass for Harrison. What a great pass there from McClinton to find the wide open Harrison for two.
Good job by McClinton to find Harrison right there. Harrison, good job leaking out to try and get that easy layup. And hopefully the Knights can keep getting buckets like this with only 2 minutes left and just keep fighting.
Absolutely. You know Christendom is going to want to slow down the pace a little bit. Meanwhile, Central Penn is going to have to go as fast as they possibly can. Meanwhile, Edmund Thomas draws the foul and will head to the line. Thomas will make the second, but miss the first. Central Penn looking to pick up the pace here. We're going to see what they can do. Harrison, another long-range two-pointer, but this time it will be off the mark. And with just under 2 minutes left to go in this one, Knights trailing at 81-59. I think it's about that time as Ekenis drives the lane for the easy two. I think it's just about time to determine the Weis Markets player of the game for Central Penn. It will go to Dahsan King. 19 points led the way for Central Penn, also with 8 rebounds and 3 assists. Moundziho with a nice finish there.
Good finish by him right there. And you know, King left it all out there on the court for his team tonight. And you know, we want to say also thank you to Anthony McClinton for his work that he's been with the team. And you know, we wish him good favors and good luck for the rest of his career.
Absolutely. Moundziho there draws the offensive foul. McClinton, again, want to give him a quick shout out. He also finished the night, well, maybe he's still on the floor, so there's potential for more, as he puts up the three-pointer. And just as I say that, McClinton now with 15 points for the night, 7 rebounds and 3 assists in his final game as a Central Penn Knight. We want to thank Anthony McClinton for everything he's done for this team and want to wish him in his future endeavors. Meanwhile, an offensive rebound on the other side, but a steal from Moultrie comes away with it. Dishes off for Harrison, who takes the sidestep three, but will get called for the travel. Harrison had the look, and he had the make, just unfortunately took an extra step and gets called for the walk.
Perfect sidestep there to get in the corner, but like you said, just one extra little baby step that got called for that travel.
And with that, it'll be Christendom ball. Less than a minute left to go in this one. You would think Christendom will be slowing down the pace, but they're trying to get some offense still going. Meanwhile, Amaker comes away with the steal. McClinton putting it up. And another 2 points for McClinton.
McClinton's not ready to go away yet for his final game, looking to get a couple more baskets, and kind of a questionable timeout by Christendom with only 36 seconds left, but
let me squeeze in here, gentlemen. I want to chime in here on this broadcast really quick with just 36 seconds left. I want to thank Kevon and Dalton so much for 4 years of service calling Knights basketball. Obviously, they would have been on to call baseball too, but they were on the field, and of course, Dalton will be back out there for one more season. But again, future Nightly News Hall of Famers right here, Dalton, Koller, Kevon Davis. 4 solid years of calling Knights basketball. It's a bittersweet day. This is your last game as students, but as we mentioned, this is definitely not going to be your last game. We're going to be hearing from you in the future, but thank you guys so much for the last 4 years. It's meant the world to me.
I appreciate all the kind words, Paul. It's been definitely a great last 4 years. Definitely had a lot of experiences, a lot of ups and downs watching Knights basketball, but at the end of the day, it's been absolutely awesome to do this for the Nightly News. And just this year, it's been great to call games with you, both Professor Paul Miller and Kevon Davis. It's been a great time.
It's been a great year, great time, you know. Unfortunately, some good things have to come to an end, but you know, Dalton, you never know what the future has. You know, it's unpredictable. And you know, it's been a very fun time. We started in 2021, and look at us now in 2025. Been doing this for a long time.
Absolutely, but hey, whoever says that good things have to come to an end, who knows, maybe for the future, if we're in the area, we'll be able to call a game. But on the other end, on the floor, Michael Vanderwood holds onto the ball and will milk the rest of the clock, and will end this game as the Knights lose and drop their final game of the year, 83-68. A tough one for the Knights to swallow, but hopefully next year they will be coming back with a lot of vengeance, a good big chip on their shoulder, and will look to win a lot more games. Kevon, what do you think? Let's put a bow on this. What do you think were the final, things that ended up with the Knights coming away with a loss?
Like we said, poor 3-point shooting in the beginning. That really hurt them in the beginning. And then in the second half, they started to slowly knock down shots, but after a little bit, it was a little too late. And Christendom, just again with their size and their ball movement, but like you were saying, for your point for the future for Coach Martin, you'd like to see him hopefully try and get some more bigger and taller recruits that'll definitely help them out in the rebound department. So hopefully for next year they come back to their size.
Absolutely. Again, want to give a quick shout out. You know what? We make the rules here. Co-Weis Markets Player of the Game, Dahsan King and Anthony McClinton, both with 19 points. Give a quick shout out to them. Great performances tonight. But that will put an end to Knights basketball here on Central Penn Nightly News for the rest of the year. I am Dalton Koller, Kevon Davis, Professor Paul Miller with production for the night, Dylan Bowman on camera, and we will see you for Knights baseball in just a couple weeks.